Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more Hearthstone. Today we'll be taking a look at the Faceroll Hunter deck. The concept is straightforward: smash your opponent in the face and win as fast as possible. We've got a quick early game thanks to Leper Gnome, Bluegill Warrior, and other fast creatures, some extra spell damage to push through like Arcane Shot and Kill Command, and then finishers such as Leeroy Jenkins and Unleash the Hounds. Now with the general premise out of the way, let's take a look at the deck in action. So I wanted to show you guys this deck midweek last week. Unfortunately, my trip down to Florida really put a kink in those plans. However, luckily, or unluckily, depending on how you look at it, the deck seems to still be going very strong. I'm gonna actually be dumping this opening hand because I'm hoping for some of my early game minions, such as Leper Gnome, Bluegill Warrior, and Wolfrider. Those are the things that I'm really, we got the Wolfrider, tracking's not bad, and Kill Command, and then one of the key cards in the deck, which is Unleash the Hounds. So yes, the concept is incredibly straightforward. You're using charge minions, very fast minions, to rush your opponent down as quickly as possible, and that's it. That plus your Arcane Shot is pretty much the concept and your primary goal with this deck. All right, out of these cards, I think we'll actually keep the Leeroy. Leper Gnome is really nice, but the Leeroy is gonna make for a very strong turn 4 to push through and hopefully get us close to the victory at that point. Now turn 2, not really gonna have much of a play, and the play at that point becomes Steady Shot, and that's what makes this deck so strong. We've had a lot of really fast minions doing some quick early game damage. Again, we ideally want a Leper Gnome on turn 1, and that's pretty much why I dumped that hand digging for it. But you know, we didn't get that, so we just have to go with what we have. 99.9% of the time, you completely ignore your opponent's minions in this deck. You are just going straight for the face. You're trying to rush them, zerg them down as fast as humanly possible. Now, there are certainly ways to offset this deck, and that comes in a few forms, one of which are taunts, which we could be seeing from our opponent in this turn here. Another thing that really can offset the functionality of this deck is healing. So we're playing against a paladin that's a decently strong opponent, especially if they're building a proper deck to deal with this deck, which an opponent may very well be doing. So you notice he killed the Leper Gnome, but honestly, not that huge of a deal because we still get some damage through. And even though he is also doing damage to us, again, we are focused 100% on zerging him down, and we're counting on the fact that we will be able to zerg him down faster than he can zerg us down. At least that's the hope. We'll see if that ends up working out in our favor. It's actually looking kind of rough right now. All right, let me try to think about what I want to do at this point, at this juncture. So Unleash the Hounds is one of your finishers that works very, very well with Timberwolf. In fact, that's pretty much the only reason Timberwolf is even in this deck. I think we're going to go with a Wolfrider here, and we're also going to throw down the Arcane Shot. I'm going to be holding on to the coin probably for our final turn, our final big push. Now, the great thing about this deck is because it's so aggressive and the opponent knows if they have any idea as to how the current metagame is working, and they see this deck, they will know they need to get rid of those creatures. They either need to get rid of those creatures to stop themselves from getting zerged down, or they need to try to zerg you down before you zerg them down. But again, this deck is built around being able to kill them before they can possibly kill you. Now, he has got a strong play right here. However, we are going to have a very strong play ourselves in this upcoming turn with the Timberwolf and Unleash the Hounds. Now, he does have us down to 11. Let me actually think about how I want to do this right now. I think the explosive trap might actually... So if we go with Unleash the Hounds, it gives us 4 of those minions. We give them a +1 attack. That's going to be 3 mana total. And we could have another 3 with the coin. So let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. +5. That is not fatal. So we do 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. +5, yeah. So we don't quite have fatal. That would put him at, that would do 17 damage. Or I'm sorry, no, not even. So that means we actually at this point need to focus on taking out his creatures because we don't have fatal for this turn. Unfortunately, that means that our plan isn't quite as good. We're not going to be able to do that massive Unleash the Hound damage. Well, you know what? I can still get that damage through. What the hell just happened? Where's the explosive trap? I cast it, but I don't. It used up my mana, but I don't okay, I have no idea what just happened. Okay, there it is there. Whew, I was really concerned for a minute. Oh my lord, you guys have no idea. I was massively concerned. I didn't see, I'm like, okay, I used up 2 crystals I spent, and where's the explosive trap? It wasn't there, it's there though, we're fine, don't worry about it. Alright, so first things first, he's gonna go ahead and drop down. So I think that was probably an ideal play for the turn, knowing that we didn't have fatal damage. We're able to get rid of his creatures here in this turn with explosive trap. And we still have some stuff in play. Oh wow, he's actually throwing stuff in play anyways. There's the Defender of Argus. Ooh, very good actually. That's a very smart move. And then if he gets rid of my creatures, which he is going to do. Ooh, is he really doing that first? Yes, he is. Okay, so this actually makes me pretty happy, because now we've got creatures in play to kill his 2 taunters. In fact, we've got creatures in play to kill a lot. Alright, so let's take a look here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We're gonna get rid of that. And then we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, potentially. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'd put him down to 3. We are at 7, though. Oh, you know what? This is, gosh.
I wonder.
Okay, this is 6. Plus 5 is 11. Oh, that puts him so close. But no, that's not the kill. And if we do Leeroy right now, then he's got 2, 4, 5, 6, and 6 damage just right in play, which I don't know that I can count on. This is really tough, actually, to be honest with you. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's so close, it's just not enough damage. Alright, well then I think I can't play Leeroy right now, so I apologize for taking some time here. I just want to make sure that I don't completely screw myself, basically. And I am going to get rid of one of his creatures. That is going to be my play. I just wanted to make sure that I did not completely screw myself, that I can still potentially have the victory. But I feel like if I left those 2 things in play, plus he had the 2 minions from Leeroy Jenkins, he would only have to do 1 extra damage to me. So, potentially a weapon. I mean, he could even have... if he has Avenge's Wrath, then I'm screwed too, so... But it looks like he might not have that. I don't know why he would have played that if he did. So here's a Divine Favor. It's going to allow him to draw a card. And it looks like we do end up getting the victory here. Not quite as flawless as these games can go. But we win nonetheless. And let's go ahead and finish this off by taking a look at the deck list. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I had originally planned to show you guys this deck midway through last week. It was super prevalent. I was pretty much seeing hunters in 7 to 8 out of 10 games. It was very, very consistent. We're seeing a little bit less of them now because we're starting to see control druids and control shamans take over, which kind of stop this deck dead in its tracks. However, it's still a very strong deck, and one of the greatest things about it, it's pretty inexpensive. The only legendary that we're looking at here is Leeroy Jenkins, and you could replace this and still have a very, very strong deck. So let's take it from the top. We've got 2 Arcane Shots. Again, just pushing through the extra damage. 2 of the trackings. That's for digging for key components in your combo, for example. So say you're getting ready to drop in Unleash the Hounds, but you don't... Say you're getting ready to drop in Unleash the Hounds, but you don't have a Timberwolf. Getting a tracking for that could be very good. And then also, depending on the opponent that you're playing, an early tracking to get something to complement the opening hand that you have to deal with what your opponent's likely to have is a very strong play as well. Abusive Sergeant's good for pushing through extra charge damage very quickly. So, you know, you drop a Wolfrider on turn 4, and then you follow it up with an Abusive Sergeant. That's 5 damage straight to the face. Leper Gnome, your best turn 1 play, really. Most of the time, you're going to get 4 damage out of this. At the very least, it's a guaranteed 2 damage to the face. The Timberwolf, it's, again, the only really reason to have this in the deck is to combo with the Unleash the Hounds, which, you know, if your opponent has 3 creatures in play, there's 6 damage right there, 4 creatures, 8 damage, 5 creatures, 10 damage. It can get pretty big, depending on the deck that you're playing against. Let's see, we've got the explosive traps for dealing with opponent's creatures. The other reason I have the explosive trap in this deck is to pump up the Eaglehorn Bow, which can be very, very strong when you have those in play with these revealed secrets. Misdirection, fantastic card. Your opponent, if they're trying to zerg you down faster than you're zerging them down, Misdirection comes very, very handy. It's also really great against those decks. You know, if they realize that they're playing this deck, a lot of times they won't play a lot of creatures. So if they have 1 or 2 creatures in play and you drop a Misdirection, there's a good chance it's going to hit them in the face, which just helps your cause. Now, it makes it so that your Unleash the Hounds isn't very good if they're playing smart, but it then in turn makes it so that your Misdirection has a good chance of doing some damage to them. We've got the Bluegill Warrior because it's charge, and again, we're doing things as fast as possible. Ironbeak Owl, this is primarily to take out Taunters because Taunters really kill this deck. The Starving Buzzard here for card draw. Again, just envision the combo. Starving Buzzard, Unleash the Hounds. Yes, that's a very, very good combo. The Eaglehorn Bow, it's a strong weapon, and again, with these secrets in here, they just synergize very well. Kill command, make sure you do this when you have a beast, unless you absolutely need to push through a taunter like a Shield Master, but 5 damage to the face for 3, following up and Unleash the Hounds. Pretty solid. The Arcane Golem for that charge push through damage, same thing with the Wolfrider, and then Leeroy Jenkins as a strong finisher. You know, even right now, it's still a pretty strong deck. You're going to have a really hard time against someone running Senjin Shield Master. The Shamans, the Control Shamans, and the Control Druids, very strong against this deck, but against everything else, this Faceroll can be incredibly effective at, again, relatively cheap price. Replace this with another charge minion, and you get yourself a pretty solid deck for not much at all. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the gameplay video coming up tomorrow. Happy to show you guys this Faceroll Hunter deck. Build it and go roll some face. I'll see you guys next time. Keep watching and keep owning.